Well, Cate Frenzy has returned. But we're kinda in a new set now. How do you like it? We may be in a new set, but that doesn't mean that the pile is gone. Unfortunately, the pile has gotten bigger. What am I gonna do? Hello again, welcome to Cate Frenzy, episode 2 of season 3. We have a new figure today, and we're going to be opening this guy in a box. Today's figure is something that I ordered a long time ago, and it came out just recently because I had it shipped to me a little bit later. And the cool thing is that with this figure, it's not quite known. It's actually a figure that you don't see very often. So, let's pop open the box. We'll do the unboxing. Okay, so it's funny, when I was looking at this X-Acto knife, I realized that it says Art 16 on it, and that may not mean anything to you guys, but to me it tells me that this is the one that my sister stole from her junior high school in that 1 year. And I have it somehow now, but I just thought it was funny because this is the exact same X-Acto knife from all those years ago, and we just kept it. So I actually purchased this from a website called E2046. The cool thing about E2046 is that you can actually delay shipments and have them sent to you quarterly, so they can be all consolidated into one shipment. So it's a lot cheaper instead of having to ship it right away. So it helps you get the figure later instead of having to do it right away, which is awesome. Fancy. Okay, so there's all sorts of what do you call it? Bubble wrap covering the figure. There it is. Wow, look at that. That's quite the impression. This is cool. It's like a single sheet with a single line. It's such a waste of paper. Why even give it to me? Let's talk about today's doll. So you may have already noticed I'm wearing the outfit for this doll. Today's figure is Kara from Detroit Become Human. This isn't an officially licensed figure. It's kind of more like a fan-made figure, I guess you could say. They have it under a different name. Although this one did come underneath the word Kara. There was a Connor one too. That one actually came under the word negotiator. So they have to hide, the names for liability reasons. But this one actually came with the word Kara, so that's quite interesting. Also, there's a QR code on the top. Huh. Okay, let's talk about her box. So Kara comes in this awesome box. It's quite large. So all the androids have this little blue light right here on their temple. And basically it kind of indicates that they're processing information. If it turns red, it usually means something's going wrong. It's a neat little life indicator for the robot. So we have that logo right on the top here. And then we also have the AX400, which is Kara's model number for her because she's an android. It says here, Cyber Life, Android changes world. That sounds really weird. Android changes world. Maybe it should be the Android changes the world, or Android changes the world. And we also have the logo for Virtual Toys, or VTS Toys, the producers of this figure. Now the box has this really awesome orange color to it, and it has all these kind of gradient colors and geometric shapes, very futuristic, especially because the story of this takes place in the future, and it has a really nice look to it because of that. I like the color scheme on this. It's very vibrant and it's a very clean box. There's not much to say about it. It says AX400 on the side, it says on this side too, and on the back side, well, the back side just says Virtual Toys. There's a warning, not for children under 3 years old, it's not a toy, and it just tells you the general warning. So the bottom of the box isn't that interesting. It's just very geometric. And the thing with this figure is that there's not too much going on with the box. It's more so the figure. So the box itself, it's alright. I think I'll probably give it like a solid like 7 out of 10. It's very cool, but there's nothing really interesting about it next to the geometric pattern shapes, but it's a very clean box. Okay, so let's open this bad boy up and get to the packaging section. So we're just gonna pop her open. So with this box, it actually opens like this. You actually just have to pop it off, which is awesome. This is a very easy to open box. Okay, so we have a black panel. And then we're just gonna open it and be very careful because she could just fall out randomly if I open this up. So I'm gonna be very careful how I'm holding this. Oh, very nice. All right, so we can already tell that there was this nice like styrofoam top, which is like very squishy, like the stuff you see for holding jewelry. And we have like plastic covering her head, this head as well, the joints and the hands, and there's the stand. And then we have the little logo here. So she's very well maintained. I kind of just wish that there's packaging maybe covering her shirt. And it looks like she's pretty well in there. She had the front covering, so I guess this makes up for the lack of plastic on the clothing. It's just one big piece. Normally with these kind of things, there's actually like a secondary inside, and I was correct. So we have her other stand in here too. So it's multi-layered with different parts. And is that it, or is there another one? Is there another one in here? Let me see. Nope, that's it. Okay, so there's 3 sections. There's the top layer, there's cars layer, and then there's like an additional stand layer. So very good. Production wise, the only thing that would probably make this better would be if they had plastic covering everything. Like this is really thick. So not bad. You know what? This probably will also get a 7 out of 10 because it's well kept, but I just kind of wish that there was plastic covering the thing just for extra protection. However, this box was very neatly packaged, so it's nothing too important, but it is nice for collectors just to have like peace of mind that it's covered in plastic. So 7 out of 10 for this as well. Alright, let's talk about the stats. We have Kara, model number AX400 from the series Detroit Become Human. The company is Virtual Toys, otherwise known as VTS Toys. The scale is 1/6, which means it's about 12.3 inches in height, and it has a width of about 4.5 inches and a length of 7 inches, that is including the base, and the long ass sign that says Protect Alice. The original cost was $259.78 Canadian. My cost was $337.49 Canadian. That's with shipping and also import fee taxes. Alright, so let's get her out and assembled, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so pop Kara out. Awesome. Okay, so let's take off this plastic piece on her head. Kara does come with an additional outfit, which I will try to put on later maybe. This is her additional outfit. And there's also some silica gel in here, which is awesome. Okay, standouts. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay, put that down. We need the stick. Take the gun out too. Take the little stand. And then leave the hands for now. Okay, and we got the stand here. This random barrel, which I don't know why there's a barrel, but there's a barrel. That's interesting. You know, moving this all around though, these hands and faces aren't popping out, so that's really good. They're quite in there, so they're very secure. So now let's talk about the sculpt and the paint. It's so nice. Just looking at it up close, when I'm just taking a peek at it, there is some really nice detail and texture work. The hair especially has a lot of different texture on it. It looks pretty cool. and there's lots of little like frosty like tips. Reminds me of the old 90s NSYNC look, you know, Lance Bass and Justin Timberlake with the frosted tips. The face is really pretty. It's got a really nice look to it. It quite looks like, I forget her name all of a sudden, but it does look like Valerie Curry. I remember her name! It's Valerie Curry. Okay, so the 1/6 models are generally more like realistic figures. You'll find the 1/6s are usually like real people or like figures that can be made more realistic. You don't really get anime 1/6 figures too often, like in this kind of scale. If they are, they're usually like the more elaborate figures, or they're like the more popular ones like JoJo and like Attack on Titan. So we don't really get too many anime figures in the 1/6 scale like that are like this 1/6 scale figure. They're mostly like statues. They're not really figures that are this large because they are quite expensive. She's kind of looking off to the one side. The fabric on this, really nice. The fabric is super nice. It feels really nice. It actually has a little bit of texture on it too because of the pattern work on it. So her vest is held together by these really tiny buttons right there. Some figures work really hard to get rid of seams and make it look more clean. For some hot toys, they use zippers, and then sometimes they have magnets. The magnets keep the clothing in place, make it look seamless so you don't see random thread. And it's also a little bit easier because you just have to put the magnet in instead of having to make little small ass zippers or little buttons like this one. Wow, there's so many layers on this. Look, you open this up and then there's a layer right here. There's a mesh layer right there. You see that? It's got the pattern really nice. The joints feel pretty good too. Let's see. They're nice. The nice thing about this being fabric too and not like a vinyl or a plastic is that if you put into poses, there will be wear over time, but it's not as drastic because sometimes when you put figures in certain poses for a while, like the plastic is in a bad position, so when you finally move it down like that, it'll like crack because it's been in position so long that it kind of degrades just because it's been held in one position. So when you pull it down, it actually like affects the plastic and the vinyl. So for that kind of thing, you want to make sure that if you do have figures like that, you want to make sure you change the position every once in a while so that it doesn't get damaged, or just, you know, keep them in a static state like this. But for figures like this where it's all fabric, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And these joints are actually really nice. I'm playing around with the joints right now. She doesn't have full range of motion. This is as high as she can go for her upper arms. Oh, and this part here is actually a separate piece too. She does have her little back fanny pack, which I thought was really adorable. This little futuristic fanny pack. It's built around into the back side of her body here, so you can see it's kind of built right in there. For her clothing here, she has like just general tights on, and her boots, they have the threading underneath, which is awesome. And there's also like a good amount of detail in the boot. There's like the belt, and it is lightly painted so that it has a little bit of wear and tear on it, so that it makes it look a little realistic, which is good too. Let's see how far can we go. Okay, so her skirt does cause issues getting her to have full range of motion. Let's see here. She can do that. She can bend her leg like that, and she can do this. Can she stand on her own? I'm assuming she can. Yep. Can she stand on one leg? Nope. Okay, so she can't stand on one leg. That's fine. Most 1/6 figures can. Although I saw recently that the new Loki figure, the President Loki, can stand seemingly on one leg, unless that's just a picture. But like, that's pretty awesome. The figure itself looks really clean. There's not anything wrong with the paint job on the face. It's really quite nice. Clothing itself is exceptional. There doesn't seem to be any loose threads anywhere. Most of the time with these smaller figures, you will have a loose thread here and there, but that's to be understandable because they're so damn tiny. I'm looking underneath this area where you have general threading, and like it's pretty clean. There's nothing really bad about it. Sometimes you'll find like little random loose threads, like there's one right here on top. It's very minimal. You don't even notice it because it's covered by the skirt. Also, oh, hey, there's a wire in here. The wire has come out a little bit at the top there. You see that little metal piece? Oh, you can pose her clothing like really dynamically. Oh, that's amazing. That's a very cool bonus. That's something that should be in more models. I like that a lot. Okay, so the stand, we have this glass piece and this piece. So, okay, obviously the barrel has this hole here, so it's actually gonna go in here. Oh, it's magnetic. Oh, this has a really interesting, like, picture on it. I don't know which family that is, but it says RA9, which is referring to a different thing in the game. It's a little clue to something in the game. I won't say what because I don't want to spoil it. There's also this little plastic piece just on the back side here, right here. Is it going to be holding something? Who knows? We'll put this here. There's no instructions to this, so you have to kind of figure this out. The broken glass goes right here. Now, if you're wondering what this scene is, at some point in the game, Kara and Alice and Luther, they actually end up in like an abandoned pier / carnival warehouse area, kind of. And this is what that is. So the glass of this is pretty awesome. It's like semi-translucent and it has some good detail to it. It doesn't truly look like glass, but it also doesn't look not like glass. There's also these broken bits and pieces up top. They are painted inside in the inner corners, so that is really nice as well. If this is broken, then maybe this should be more dirty. Maybe it should be more black splotches on it. It's a little bit too clean for the dilapidated look, I guess you could say. Now the wood wall is like very, like it's broken down. There's actually little specks of black in there too on the broken pieces of the wall, so that makes it look really more realistic. And there's also like different shading and coloring. The wall does look really quite nice. These edges, they didn't even have to do that, but they did it anyways. So it does look quite nice in that aspect. And then the paint, it looks like this was done with a Sharpie, which is hilarious. In the game, I think it was also done by like a Sharpie. Sometimes it's written blood, sometimes it's written by like painting. Photo is actually really funny because it kind of looks like Rick Astley. This is like a random photo of a parent, a mom, and like 2 children. There's not much going on in this photo, but you know, it's something. And like the base, this barrel, it's got this fabric piece on it. This is nice little touch. They didn't have to add that as well, but adds to a little bit of like the somebody left this there and it's been left there over years and it's all dirty and it's got different colors going on to it, and that makes it look a little more realistic. There is also this little golden piece right here. This is probably the little stopper for the keg. I guess this is not really a keg, it's a barrel, right? Maybe it's a giant keg. Cara's just getting drunk in the background because of Alice. Huge spoiler. Spoiler warning. Giant spoiler. Huge spoiler. Spoiler warning. Alice is a freaking robot, and the entire thing, she's like, I'm cold, Kara, I'm cold. And you're just like, motherfucker, you are not cold. You're an android. You don't feel cold, you motherfucker. You're not real. This barrel, it has really nice texture work done on it. It's got some really nice line work. And it does look like wood, like I give it that. It's pretty hefty. It feels like it weighs like a good decent amount. It's almost like about the weight of like a pop can. I'm sure if it wasn't solid that it would probably be the same. It'd probably look just as nice. Also keeps the base, I guess, the weight lifted down so the base isn't loose. So that's a good bonus to having this. Now the rest of the base, it does have that really nice wood plank look to it. And there's also more of these broken down dirty rags. We have a couple of the broken rocks from the walls as well, so that's a nice little like tie-in to this piece. And this base is fairly heavy, so it's nicely weighted. Again, this is great for models because it keeps them grounded. It does have the AX400 from CyberLife on it too, so it has a little name tag. So we're just gonna put this right here, and then we'll put this back on here. This is also magnetic, by the way. This here, and we'll put this right here. This one's not magnetic. This one is. This thing here says protect Alice. Fucking Alice. Okay, so where does this go? Cool thing is there's actually like a mini timer right there, because you do have sometimes time limit on how much time you have to answer, which really puts stress on the player. There's no fretting on this, so you just kind of have to shove it in. This is just hanging off of there, so like it could break if you press too hard on it, so be careful if you're doing it yourself. Protect Alice. Oh hey, her boot, I just realized this is a separate piece. That helps with motion when you have a separate piece like that, so you can do that. For the gun's pretty normal. There's nothing really special about it, just some white grip on it. Oh my god, it has a magazine. Okay, now it's cool. All right, it goes into her hand fairly easily. Wait, let's make it. Yeah, put in the hood. There you go. So this figure is really cool. I really like this figure. It's really nice. You can actually see that there's like a belt in there too, and she also has an undershirt. Now, she does have another outfit, so let's see if we can get her separated and put on her other outfit, because I really love her dress shirt. So let's just talk about her other outfit for then. So it's got that really cool geometric shape to it, and this is why I like this outfit a lot, because it has a really interesting geometric pattern onto it, and they actually got the design straight from the game. So it's really nice. There's again the two buttons in there. And then it's weird because you probably noticed in the other video, like the inside of the shirt has this really weird brown paneling that's just like, it's not even like together, so it's kind of strange. I'm not sure what that's for. Like, I think because it's, you can see like there's a little bit that peeks out, so it's designed in such a way where like it peeks out at random corners, kind of like there. Like, it's kind of weird though, right? We can also talk about the inner body too. So the plastic in here is soft, and it's not bad. I also found that, you know, there's a plastic piece covering her waist and her belt, which is really nice. No rubbing against the clothing. I'm gonna keep that there. You might have noticed I was trying to keep this piece on because like it helps with rubbing, and it's not really visible when it's on. This figure, there's actually like a little inner joint. This one does not have it. So when I took this head off, I was wondering if this piece is separate. So I tried to use my tweezers to get out this piece, and I don't know yet if it's a separate piece or if it's like already in the head. I don't want to damage the piece any more than I have, because I already damaged a little bit of plastic just trying to get it out. The head sculpt on this Cara, I like this one better. It's a lot more straightforward. She's not looking out to the side, and I really love this hairstyle with the twirled up like bun. It's one of my favorite looking hairstyles on a game character. It's very simple, but it has a really nice look to it. Even though they're the same face, I think this one looks better. I think it's because the way the eyes are, like they're more straightforward, that it just looks better in general. But it's like the same sculpt, but I feel like this one looks better for some reason. What do you guys think? Do you think this one looks better, or do you think this one looks better? What do you think? In the game, when Cara cuts her hair off, you can choose the color you want to change it to. There's like blonde, gray, and keeping it brown. I like the white look. But I really do enjoy Cara's brown look. It makes her look more like sincere, I guess. Well, this one makes her look more like, I'm done with the world. Everything is over. I hate it. So like you have the two different Cara faces, which is great. So in most like cinematic things or anime, when a girl changes her personality and she's changing her entire lifestyle, she cuts her hair. It's very like traditional and ceremonial in such a way where it's like, if I cut my hair short, I'm a different person, I'm rebellious. And I was thinking to myself, what is the opposite of that for guys? Would that mean that guys would like grow their hair longer? Because if girls traditionally cut their hair, does that mean guys would grow their hair longer? And then basically that's their, like, screw society, I'm gonna become like a bum on the street? Like, is that what they do? I mean, I'm not saying guys with long hairs are bums, but like, in traditional sense, would that be what you would do? You would grow your hair longer and become like a bum in a cave somewhere? I don't know. I mean, like, and then what about the people who are neither he or she? What are they? What do they do? Do they just go bald? Like, what are they supposed to do? So overall, this figure is really nice. The joints are nice. The joints are super nice. I just wish that I could get these hands in. These are hard to get in. I probably should have known this was going to happen, because this is the reason why I usually don't do these during reviews, because like, it takes a lot of effort to put these in, so I usually just use the one hand. But the overall sculpt of this figure is really nice. The only issue I have with this head is just the eyes. The other one is fine, but it's missing the joint. And the overall body moves really well. There's lots of movement. This pants doesn't stretch as nicely, so you can't make her sit or anything. You can't go any further than that. So That's the only issue I've had with this. I'm just scared to go any further because I want to rip the pants. But like, generally speaking, like the joints are pretty okay, and they're really stiff. So like, they feel nice enough that they're not gonna like break if you like move around too much. So they're really nice. It's really solid. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Paint wise, there's really good detail on everything. I don't see anything that's out of place really. It's really solid. So you know what? The paint job gets like a 10 out of 10 on this one. It's really good. I don't see anything majorly wrong with this. Whoa, wait, hold on. I got the head on. So it does turn out there's an extra joint. I'll do it again. There you go. So there's an extra joint right here, and that's what covers the hole. I did damage it a little bit trying to get the head off. Like, not the head off, but like the... Well, I guess the head off, yeah. So I guess I damaged it a little bit using the tweezers, so that is something you should be careful about. But it's okay, because it's hidden by the head, so it's not a big deal. The head comes off a little bit more difficult now because of that, but shape of it is definitely not super hidden, so it doesn't look super nice. And this is a problem with all 6 figures, like the necklines, unless they're hidden, it doesn't look super nice because you have to have joint in motion and stuff, so And the hands, turns out I'm an idiot and I put the joints in the wrong way. The long piece goes into the arm, makes it way easier. So I recreated the whole Kara look. I found out that the belt is actually movable. You can actually use like a real belt. So I took it out and then I popped one piece of her shirt into her pants because that's how she looks like in the game. That's what it should look like and that's how it should work. So for all you collectors out there, the long part goes into here and the short part goes into here. So anybody who's had the same issue, don't worry, I'm dumb too. So overall appeal of this character is really high. Honestly, this character is really cool. I really enjoy it, and I probably would buy more of these VTS figures now that I know the quality of them. I really enjoy how this looks, and I really enjoy just the general detail that went into the fabric. The fabric is amazing. On both these fabrics, like there's some really amazing detail, and it's just really impressive what they could do with this small scale of a figure. And like even like the back here, you can see there's different like little patterns and stuff. So like between the texture work and like the fabric choice, like it's super nice. And the figure, like the joints, they're really solid and they don't really hide too well with the like this. But when you have fabric on, like you can hide them pretty well, and it looks really nice in that respect. So in general, overall appearance of this figure, it's definitely like a 10 out of 10. It's a really good figure. I really enjoy this. And even the stand is super elaborate, being this humongous piece. Like it's pretty crazy. I just wish there was something to hold her down. Like maybe if her boots were magnetic and they just had magnetically snapped into place here, like the whole thing was magnetic, that would be awesome. That's the only problem with this, is that she doesn't quite have her own thing to hold her in place. That might be a turnoff for some people, especially if you are prone to knocking your models over, if you have animals that mess around with your figures. Alright, so the overall score is 43 out of 50, which is an 86% for this figure. A really high score. It is super good. Any of the nuances that I had with it is very minimal. Honestly, this is almost a perfect figure. There's only small things. The only thing I have issues with really is just the eyes on this face and the lack of a holder for the stand. That's pretty much it. Everything else is freaking amazing on this figure. I love it. I'm going to have this one on display very close to me because I love Kara and she deserves a good place, unlike that motherfucker Alice. So, that is the end of the review for today. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you like it, check out my other reviews, and I'll have some more reviews next week. I will see you again. See ya! Alright, so what's in the box? You did not see this because I left it out since it was very spoilery. You have things like Kara's scissors that she used to cut her hair in this bathroom sink in the motel. You have Alice's key that opens up this keepsake box. You also have the adult bus pass that they use to get into Canada. And then there is this. These photographs. You're like, this belongs to Alice, right? why is Alice blonde in this photo? That's when you kind of realize, wait a minute, that's not Alice. Who the fuck is this girl? And then that's when you kind of realize, oh, Alice is not even human. And then you're like, wait, so the robot drew these photos? Somebody programmed the robot to draw these photos? What the fuck?